Hey everyone, Ann here. I asked you guys for some questions to make an AMA video a few months ago, I think, and to be honest, I've just been doing a really crappy job of putting this video together. So here's the answers for the questions which I kind of categorized in the personal category, and then I'm going to make another video for the streaming related questions. It's pretty much like any other physical activity. You just go to the gym and I'll stretch before I start climbing, and then I listen to music and climb for a few hours, and then I'm done. I still work on graphic design stuff a lot because I want to keep my skills honed for the day that I inevitably decide that I don't want to stream anymore, or it just isn't what I want to spend my time doing. And there are a lot of tech companies that I've met since becoming a streamer that I would love to work for, so I guess we'll just kind of see where things take us. I didn't actually go to college with the intention of being a graphic designer. I actually went to college to become a photographer. And after I got there and I started working on projects and started seeing kind of the path that I was going to have to take as a photographer, I decided that that wasn't really the path that I wanted. So I started focusing more on graphic design stuff and working on projects for, you know, the place that I worked at, and I would do flyers for friends who were having concerts and things like that. And I really started to enjoy it, so I just kind of focused on it, and then that just turned into my initial career before I started streaming. I love pineapple on pizza personally. I'm a huge fan of the mix of sweet and salty. I know that a lot of people are super against it for whatever reason, but I also don't understand why it's even an argument, because people like different things to eat, and I don't understand why anyone should care what anyone else wants to eat. My computers, the internet, and Rhea. I think making lists is a really good way of staying productive. What I try and do is make a list of the top 3 things that I want to get done that day, whether it's laundry or, you know, making a new graphic for my Twitch channel or, you know, something like that. I just try and make a list of the 3 things that I really want to get done, and then maybe a couple other things that I would like to get done ideally, but if I don't get them done, it's not a big deal. And I think that really helps me feel productive. If I accomplish my top 3 goals, then you can, you know, check them off on your list, and it just feels like this gives you this sense of like, I did what I needed to do today. And I think that that really helps my mental state, because I feel like I'm accomplishing things rather than just, you know, thinking, okay, what did I even get done today? Because you can look back at that list and say like, okay, these are the things that I did, and it helps me feel more like I did something. If we agree that bad experiences and good experiences both contribute to making us who we are, then I don't think that there's ever a moment that I would go back and take away from myself, because I'm really proud of the person that I am now. And I hope that that doesn't sound self-absorbed, because I absolutely 100% do not think that I'm perfect. I know that there's a lot that I have to work on, and there's things that I am unhappy with about myself, but I think that the experiences that I've had have really shaped me into who I am, and I think that a lot of the reason that people see me as someone who is honest and outspoken and, you know, confident in myself is a result of the bad things that happened to me. So I don't think that I would want to take those things away from myself, because I'm proud of who I am. Over the past few years, I just really haven't been focusing on music too much. I've just been really focusing on Twitch and, you know, recording for YouTube, and music is kind of taken a back seat for me. It's not something that I feel like I'm never going to do again. It's just not something that I really focus on anymore. And I think when I was younger, it was really an outlet for me. You know, writing songs was an emotional outlet. And as I've gotten older, I don't feel like I need that as much anymore. So it's kind of hard to write songs at this point. I would like to write new music. It's just something that I haven't been feeling as drawn to it. The top 5 places that I would love to travel to someday are France, Italy, Iceland, New Zealand, and Japan. I'm not really big on cooking. It's not something that I really care about that much. I guess, like, I like to bake, but I don't know, it's not something that I really care about that much. Cooking isn't like a hobby of mine. I started playing video games when I was about 7 years old. My siblings and I had a Super Nintendo and we would play Super Mario Brothers in the back of my mom's shop while she was working. We also had Game Boys and Game Boy Colors. I really liked Paperboy, and I think my first FPS experience was either GoldenEye or Turok Dinosaur Hunter. And from there, my sister and I both kind of moved on to Xbox and we started playing Halo and Halo 2, and that's pretty much all I played throughout high school. I grew up in a car family, so I've pretty much been surrounded by car talk since I was a little girl. I think my absolute favorite is the 1967 Shelby GT500, aka Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds. I also really love fastbacks. My family has been a Ford Mustang family for a very long time, so I kind of grew up with that, and they have a sentimental value that just can't be replaced by any other car. So I've been a huge fan of Mustangs forever. My favorite burger comes from a restaurant in LA called Plan Check, and it's a blue cheese bacon burger. It is amazing, and if you live in LA or are in the area at any point, I highly recommend that you check it out. Well, I'd never try to stop drinking coffee or caffeine entirely. I know that maybe I drink a bit too much caffeine, especially lately. I've been drinking a lot of Red Bull, so I'm trying to cut back on the Red Bull. But I just love coffee so much that it's really hard for me to imagine not drinking coffee. But I think I'd like to drink less caffeine probably, and probably more water would be good. My favorite platform to game on is definitely PC. I grew up as a console gamer pretty much my entire life. And then when I finally was able to build my first computer, which is now my streaming rig, I just really got sucked into PC gaming and realized how many benefits it has with, you know, first of all, Steam sales where you can buy games that are not $60 and you can get all these indie games. And there's so many good indie games that people have developed and put on Steam that you don't have access to those when you're on console. Not to say that console doesn't also have its own exclusives, which of course it does, but there's just so many more options and so many more exclusives that are on PC. Plus you can mod games for free, which is amazing, and you know, like, no one plays Skyrim vanilla on PC anymore, pretty much. Everyone's modded it. I love mouse and keyboard for pretty much all gaming except for when I have to drive things, which, you know, that would prefer a controller for, but being able to upgrade my hardware, because my computer started out pretty much, you know, just a regular computer. I mean, it was nice, but it was just a regular computer. And now I've got, like, you know, I've changed the graphics card, I think, twice now. I've put in the, you know, a sound card, and I've got 2 capture cards in it. So it's just like being able to work on my computer myself, whereas with a console, you know, you don't really have that. I mean, you could, but it's a lot more difficult to work on the actual hardware of a console, so I prefer PC for many, many reasons. I think the period in my life that I changed the most is probably the same as everyone else's. Everyone in high school and middle school, that's the formative years when you're really learning who you are and becoming your own person. So probably high school for me, or maybe even the first 2 or 3 years of college were a big deal. And now that I think about it, actually getting out of college, the transition period from being in college to being a full-time employee is a really hard shift to make, so probably that time too. Just the last, like, 8 years. I honestly really don't do very much besides streaming. It takes up a lot of my time with, you know, if you loop in recording videos for YouTube with streaming. Beyond that, I mean, I hang out with Brea a lot, I spend time with my family. I've been helping my mom with some projects and doing some graphic design stuff for a few people. So I guess mostly graphic design and working on my car kind of occasionally. It's not something that I do every day, but that, and then I guess just bouldering, which is rock climbing at the gym. If I really had to live somewhere besides California, I probably would just move up the coast to either Oregon or Washington. I have friends in both states and in like the major cities, so it would probably be nice to be somewhere that's a little bit cooler than Southern California, but also still on the same coast as my family. I can't imagine that I would want to live anywhere too far away, especially still in the United States. You know, I wouldn't want to live anywhere on the East Coast, and after living in the Midwest, it's not really someplace that I would want to continue living. So probably just either Portland or Seattle. I actually used to play airsoft all the time with some friends when I was in high school. My grandparents owned about 15 acres of land that was all wooded, and there was a lot of brush and things for us to hide in, so we would go out there and play probably once a week at least. A lot of people's game of the year for 2015 was either The Witcher 3 or Bloodborne. I never really played Bloodborne, and I only spent a little bit of time playing The Witcher 3, so neither one of those really tops the list for me. I think based off of the games that I spent the most time playing and got the most enjoyment out of in 2015, it would probably be Rocket League. That's it for all of the personal questions. I'll be putting together another video of all the streaming related questions soon. If there's anything that wasn't answered here, you guys can always ask me on my AskFM or see if anyone has already asked the question before. Also check out my blog because I read on that about some of my either personal thoughts or streaming related thoughts, and you'll probably find some more answers there. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.